Okay. All right. Well, hopefully you guys had a decent day today. I think uh, from the notes that I left, hopefully it was clear that I was looking, the bias was short bias just because of the shapes of the profiles that we had uh, coming in. Did everybody understand that, or was that confusing?
It wasn't confusing for me, at least.
It was?
Oh, no, it wasn't.
Okay. Anyone else?
No, it wasn't.
Is that because of the lowercase b from the previous day?
Yeah, if you read this, I even drew these for you guys. This is a P, P, this is a B. I kept drawing these for you guys. So here's your P, and then you had B's, right? So if you look here, this is bearish, right? Once you start having B shapes in the uptrend, what is that signifying to you guys? And then look at the top profile of this B shape. What is this telling you here?
Exhaustion.
Well, it's exhaustion, but it's also excess supply. There's too much supply there, and they quickly brought it down. There's other time frame sellers that came in, of course. And then we had the 3-2 sig. My idea was 41.73. Once we lose that, there's a high chance that we're going to go to the 53. I got stopped out here. I thought they were going to bounce it here. I didn't think that they were just going to slice it. So I lost about $280 on this play here, but it was a quiet, close stop loss. But then I shorted it again, was able to drive that. So I was expecting it all the way here, but they bounced a little bit earlier. And, I think it was after I looked at this, it was clear why. I just didn't have it pointing. So when I chart with you guys on these smaller screens here, it's for me, I don't see the shelves completely. So when I put this on the bigger screen, I'm able to actually see this shelf, even if it's on the right. I'm able to kind of tell and be like, oh, okay, there's a shelf here. So for you guys that don't have
mark the peaks.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's not a bad idea to mark these peaks like this one here and this one here. And now you have a couple of zones that are created here. And you see them holding off of this zone today. They reclaimed it. And now they're holding this zone. So they're probably targeting to go all the way up to here or even the 53. I don't expect them to break this tonight. Tomorrow is, really, really risky trade. I'm not gonna trade till 3 o'clock. It's up to you. If you really want to trade that, go for it. There's going to be a lot of up and down volatility, or probably just chop in the morning. If they do break 55 or 53 level, whatever you want to go off, this is a zone here. Your sentiment again changes, and you're targeting 73. And you guys see how quickly they're going between these zones. I mean, if you haven't gained trust yet here, this past couple of days, I would say 5 days, they gave you opportunities. They gave opportunity for buying here, and we bought here. Some of us shorted some longer dated puts here, and then if you didn't, I also had weeklies for 10 puts for SPY. I took them here. I was down a little bit on them, but I believed in what I'm actually preaching, right? So I was targeting first the POC. It was up almost like 100 and something percent, and then it ended up being around 250% to the bottom on SPY puts there. So that was honestly a really good play. And some days, like, I don't know if anyone took the time to read the book from Jesse, but he says sometimes you need luck and sellers if you're shorting on your side based of the key levels. And here there was some aggressiveness that they shorted. So did they short it because they got leaked, or was it a trap for the short because they found some aggressive buyers here on the bottom as well? Right. So there's buyers. Actually, I took this long and I was in and out quick. And I was like, okay, well, I probably should have stayed a little bit, but because these did not have as many pullbacks here as typically they do. So only here they started doing some pullbacks, but I think this was a fairly good bounce from here. I was targeting a little bit lower, so but I did get a tiny bit here. Okay, so for tomorrow, if you guys look at the profile today, obviously a lowercase b shape. And how do you play the b shapes? For new guys, you're gonna cover this Sunday. For people that've been here, how do you play this?
Short the nodes.
Short the nodes, meaning high volume nodes. So you have a high volume node of the previous shape right here, and this is the level of interest for you for shorting. So if you want to make this red or whatever, this is your level of interest, and that would be close to the first sig. So if they go over it, then just wait for it to clean. You know, if there's any liquidity that they want to clean, and there's also a secret supply here on 30 minutes, which is right here. This is not a bad level for short. You have a previous week value area high. I don't know why this POC keeps shifting for me. I know it's not here. Tumpsy, do you have access to my charts? Like, are you fucking with me?
Nope.
So if they do that, if they hop over, I'll be looking to short the weakness here or initial spot here, because this is aggressive selling here, and the volume picked up nicely, right? So if you guys look, the volume picked up, then they slowed down. I didn't think this bounce was going to be huge just because of the wicks here, but then slowly, I mean, they moved it up on no volume. You guys see that, right? And then they're able to kind of close this day right below the POC, which indicates, right, what? On a lowercase b. It means bearish continuation, right? So if we did close above the 50%, and we didn't, so let me just clean up the fibs. If we close the 50, which in this case is 41.48, what would that tell you guys?
Reverse confirmation.
Say it again.
You'd be changing your sentiment to be bullish.
It's not bullish. Your
Neutral.
sentiment changes that you will not continue down.
Right, it's a good chance we're going to continue.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not bullish. There's a difference between bullish and continuing down. They can stay in this zone tomorrow. I expect them to actually stay in this zone till after, you know, probably, you know, 150. We're going to get some crazy movements inside here. I expect them to be here. There's a tiny little volume node here. So if you increase this fella here to like 165, let's see if it changes anything. So there is this volume node here that matches the 50%, but this is really the node that I'm interested in. And if you look, you know, if I zoom out a little bit, I mean, this is a pretty heavy node here as well. From this whole consolidation here, this is a pretty heavy node. So we could wait for that to hit here and then go from there. But I doubt that they're going to do that before 1 o'clock. Or I'm sorry, 150. I keep changing the time. Because this is your previous day value area high. Here's your low. And here's your POC here on 30 minutes. Okay. So ideally here, where do you want to short if you're playing this tomorrow?
If it gets up top, high value node or high volume node. If it goes below P.
Imagine that we stay in this range till, you know, 130. I don't think you should trade the actual news. I don't think you should be dumb enough, because they will stop you out. They're going to have a wick up, wick down, and you're out. They clean the plate before they make a move, right?
We break and
So-
retest of the POC.
Yeah, the key is this POC for shorting. This is your key.
It's a lot of volume there at the end of the day.
If we go below here, high chance that you're going to continue, and especially if this POC lines up or shifts a little bit higher and we are lower, that tells you that they sold above it, and you break this POC, that would signify that these sellers are still active and blew these guys away. Then they're most likely going to go to Feb value area low. Sorry, PD value area low, and you would probably want to exit there because you sell the top, short the bottom if you're opening inside the range, right? That means you're accepting the value area. But when it comes to trading the news, I strongly suggest that you avoid trading the news tomorrow. This profile here left you guys something interesting. Does anyone see it, and what does it mean? This profile is now fixed.
They came back all the way till that value area low of that profile. So they did.
This is fixed, completely fixed now. This
Yes.
is, yeah. So remember, we talked about a lot about fixing this profile, and how do you fix the profile? Well, you come back to the bottom of the value area low of the broken profile, and
Fill in the gaps.
yeah, well, you fill the structure, right? These are your zero prints, or
Yeah.
Single prints. And then the key part that sellers, if sellers want to make a move, this little area that you guys see right here, if the sellers can't take this out, so it means take out the 3 sig, we're just going to continue. Tomorrow, if the news can't break this, we're going to go higher. Does that make sense? Because look what
That
happened
makes
here.
sense.
Because guys, this came back and this was strong buyers, right? You see the tail, they consolidated and poof, exploded. They left a poor profile because they're in a momentum, and then they came back and fixed it and they actually held it. That's actually a little bit of a bullish bounce. That's why I said there were strong buyers, because they did this. They fixed it, but they didn't allow sellers to take this out.
And they
So-
didn't want to go in the value area from the day before that.
Yeah, I mean that was a consolidation. They weren't even interested to go there, because right here, they were not really interested. And that POC that you see right here kind of matches that we had, the 4100 level. So they were not really interested in bringing them back there. So tomorrow I would short there, but I would still be aware of this, 410. If you're shorting this, that's not bad. That's about 25 points that you can catch, or 20 points, I'm sorry. And then if you break this level tomorrow with the news, that's your statement that we were breaking the range. If on the bear side, the news don't break this level, your sentiment's bullish. Does that make sense? Is that clear?
For sure.
How would you play that? Because they can always go down and then again buying tail at the bottom, come back right up.
If they do something like this, that's great. As soon as they reclaim this 2 sig, let's say they lose it, they reclaim, that's your long.
Essentially, you're saying if they lose it, come back, retest, and that's your first
Oh, of
shot.
course. A
Up, down.
spike, the first move is not going to be real anyways. First move is never usually real. So let's see. An Astro might be lucky here if you lose 41. Okay. So that would be the plan if I was playing until like 140, just to avoid that crazy candle that comes in at like 155, 2 o'clock. You're pretty much shorting the tops here and buying the bottoms until 2 o'clock. At 2 o'clock, 155 to 2, you really need to stop trading till 315 or 320. Otherwise, good luck. There's no reason to trade in something that you will not have an edge or an insight or a tip, right? Any questions on this?
I had a question. I'm trying to match up my SIGs with yours. On the fixed volume profile, what date are you going back to?
I am going back to March 31st, 235, whatever this is.
Okay.
I'm trying to get it to be like, yeah, there, something like that.
31st. Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty much the whole month of April until now.
I'm off. I think I'm off by a half hour or something.
I mean, I just shifted this, so here it's.
Well, because my SIG 1 is like 14, not 20. That's why I'm asking.
Okay, so here's your first sig when I move the date. And 2275. Maybe I need to change the colors here.
You have it on your charts, right? When we go, we can go on your charts and look at it.
It's $10 now to look at my charts. Just kidding, guys.
You got to sign up through Twitter.
Thank you, sir. Through Twitter. Oh Lord.
We don't need his charts. We got Jake's charts.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and buy NVIDIA at 300, please? It's repeating a bullish cycle. So this is what I would say being, once I moved it a little bit.
Yeah.
Is that what you guys have?
No, but I'll just make the appropriate adjustments.
Yeah, and I'm not saying mine is right, yours is, wrong, or vice versa. I think it's as long as you're within a few points, you're okay, right?
Yeah, I just
Oh,
rather
you're
go by
using
yours 'cause
65
it's
minutes
pretty
too.
accurate.
Yeah, and I usually 65. I don't know what you guys use.
Yeah, 65.
I think the longer this goes, might want to start looking at like 2 hours just so you can see the candles. Once I'm unable to see candles, when I zoom in like this, when they look a little dark, I don't mind shifting and kind of looking at 2 hours and just to make sure I can see it
Hey,
clearly.
Shorty, you go from the 31st to
So I stop here. So if you look right now,
yep.
this one's going to extend. The idea is that you stop, right at the end of this day here.
Yeah, because we don't
Because you don't want this day, you don't want this data here. Maybe being that's what you might. I don't think this will shift it, but whatever.
Yeah, we don't want to catch the what's.
No.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be much, I would say.
I have
mine's right on the point, right on that peak where we bounced today. That's my VAL.
Up on the top.
On the bottom.
Okay.
This is your what?
That's my 1 seg.
This is?
Yeah.
Wow. I wonder if you ignore this day completely.
No, I got more. I got more days. I got more in the bottom.
Or you picked up this one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's no. You could pick it up. It's in the range.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. I mean, it is what it is.
Dumpster don't play when it comes to charts, man.
113. We used to have this one before.
Probably is because of time frame, 65 or 30 minutes or 2 hours.
I don't mind 2 hours just so I can, because this range keeps growing, right? Yeah, okay. So that's at least how we'll play this tomorrow. And if we do reclaim this 56, let's say we break above it, then you're slowly coming back down to it. It could be a chance that if the news don't break the bottom and we reclaim the POC, that they're probably going to go the second sig again.
You mean the CPOC, right?
That's what I said. If they break the POC, they're most likely targeting again top, bottom, because they already went to the. I guess if you had the first sig here, why is mine so high now? Okay, if they already went to the first sig here, so the next point would be, and you see the sig, the first sig is consolidating, meaning it's getting a little bit tighter now. So if it's tighter, what is it telling you guys?
This consolidating.
What does it tell you in terms of buyers and sellers, more or less?
Less.
It's less.
Yeah.
It's less, and the bids are tighter. That means they're just. It's going to be a violent move coming up.
Exactly.
So, but if you don't have to, don't trade till 2 o'clock. I'm sorry, 3 o'clock. Avoid the 2 o'clock altogether. So that would be my best advice. I wasn't going to hold the watch list, but I just want to make sure you guys are at least not gambling tomorrow before it. If you're going to play anything, play the tops. You have this shelf here. You have this shelf here. You can play the rejection. If we break tonight here, if this comes in, I'll play if I see them running, but I don't see them breaking 53 overnight unless somebody got some news or something. Okay, and I'll write up the plan in the morning, just like I did this morning, and I'll let you guys know at least what I'm thinking, and I'll try to write a little bit more clear to make sure everybody's on the same page.
Hey, Shorty, it's Jed here. Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Shorty?
Yeah,
do you have any recommendation for the overnight session? For me, it's morning. So taking it up towards that POC, it's not a really.
Well,
it's going to happen, but there's not a lot of confirmation, right?
Yeah. So what I was saying is that you want to play the same thing I said now. It doesn't matter overnight or not. If you lose this POC here, 41.37, there's a high chance you're gonna go probably 23, and then you have 4.13.
Yeah.
Here, so you're gonna complete here.
Yeah.
So that's what I would watch for. And I mean, if you're brave enough, you could. They didn't sweep this liquidity yet. So if they do sweep this, they probably reject somewhere around here, which is this low node in the 50%. So I would watch the sweep. And then if they don't sweep, then you're watching for a break or a break and a retest and then short.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
What was that again? Just kidding.
I wasn't going to repeat that. I'll let you rewind to YouTube.
Is this recorded?
I'm messing with you, bro.
Got it. Thanks.
Okay.
Is this going to be recorded?
Stop it. ZS, I think I'm okay still on this. To be honest, I'm not too worried about it. I got some time on this. I'm still in it. I see them pushing it back, but if you don't feel comfortable, this is, I would say, a pretty big level for them right here. Okay, so there's your favorite number, 69. I know this was the demand. They're kind of inside, so they can't bounce to here and then potentially go long. But I'm expecting more security news to come out sooner than later.
This is more long-term play for you, right?
Yeah, this is long-term hold. Yeah, and that's coming up to a bottom of this range, shorting long. There was a clear breakout right here, but it failed. I think it's a breakout.
Can you check crude oil?
It's coming up to a decent level here for, and is this a security company as well?
It's like infrastructure.
I guess cloud.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not bad. I don't know what their revenues are like, but if they're suffering now or not.
I'm gonna be a long-term buyer at about 38.
Yeah, 38 is not a bad level. That's what I'm thinking. But it seems like they might do a spring here.
Yeah, it's possible. But once again, I've been burned enough to know that I just buy partials and then just keep averaging.
I mean, this is pretty large shelf here. Yeah, I think it's not a bad plan long term here, guys. If anyone knows about it. Their revenue is not that great yet. $1 billion company, so. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I said I was gonna keep it short and sweet. So hopefully you guys have this. I'll write it up in the morning, and then let's see what we can do. I suggest again that you guys don't spend too much time gambling around 2 o'clock.
Thank you much, Shorty.
Baba.
A Baba?
Yes.
It'll bounce at 78.
Thank you.
So it had the rejection. Does anyone remember my play here? You guys recall this?
Short at like the 92 puts or something?
Yeah, short of 110 puts for September at 120. Yeah, that was a good play. I mean, it's getting slaughtered. I mean, yeah, it's getting destroyed right now, rightfully so. I just feel like all the products they have are like wish lists. Oh, what's the company? Is it Wish?
Wish.com.
Yep.
Yeah, Wish. I feel like they're literally just selling for them.
I think there's news like Jack Ma was found in Japan and he's like, I think he's turning into some professor or something in some university out there.
That's one way to deal with. Yeah.
Hey, Shorty. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm on the phone. I had a question. It's more fundamental, but I was wondering, do you prefer non-GAAP or GAAP metrics? Because my accounting teacher says like non-gap is better because you can exclude useless stuff on like the net income. I was just wondering because of the AMD stuff.
I'll let Dumpster respond. Dumpster, what do you like? He's an accountant.
Non-gap.
You like non-gap?
No, non-gap's bollocks.
Non-gap leads to a lot of, I would say,
Gray area.
adjustments. I personally don't like non-gap because I work in the finance, and how do I put this softly? Let's just say sometimes you can capitalize shit that you should not capitalize, and you can hide some stuff that you should not be hiding most of the time, right?
Is
And
that why
especially-
you would recommend like going through the numbers yourself and like I guess making up your own gap metrics? I guess.
Well, if you're a fundamental
in a sense.
analyst, if you're fundamentals, you're going through every one of the numbers and you're re-aggregating their information that they're providing in their cave, and then you're discounting the cash flows that you're forecasting and you're determining a value of the company.
Yep. I mean,
Isn't there
there's
enough BS in the goodwill?
Oh, I mean, a little bit there, and admin fees, and I mean, when you see a lot of R&D in a company that makes social platforms like Snap, when you see $1 billion in R&D, those are the things that you're at least noticing on some of the books, right, when they start putting shit like that. But there's
Zoom has crazy R&D.
Of course. I mean, so what is the R&D? What is Zoom's R&D?
It's gone up 100% the last 2 years, and the revenues haven't changed.
Okay, so what does that tell you about their research and development actualizing?
It's not working, and they probably using it just to even sustain, I guess, buyers of their product.
Probably because their equities are being somebody's buying stock, or they're offering some debt, like Meta did the other day, and they exploded. I didn't get that, but okay. Meta's coming. Oh, Meta. I thought this was today for Meta. Oh my God, Meta's setting up for an island top, guys. This is looking like a disaster here. So just FYI, I mean, of course, there's a gap here. I really want them to do this. I want them to go above 248. And for Baba, if you asked, sorry, short and long. If you look at this, I'm looking at consolidation here. This is your 2 standard deviations. So the value is really here. If you lose 76, most likely you're going 65, right? Fundamentally on the company itself, nothing changed. Nothing changed from 50s to go to 120s. Nothing changed from 120s. So it's basically just going back to the mean, and the mean will be somewhere around here. I think the value is in between these 2 levels, so 72, but I think you'll get a bounce around 78.
Thank you.
Yeah, this one carries a lot of like geopolitical risk right now, so just be smart on this one. This one's tricky. And shorting long, we have somebody working on a template that would help people for the fundamental analysis. Basically, they would tell you what to put in, and they would give you kind of like a feedback in Excel. Is it financially stable, good, above average, or not? And you guys will be able to plug in different numbers of different companies, and it would spit out based on what I look at and what he looks at. It would tell you, hey, this is good, this is bad. So you can.
Okay, I appreciate it. I've been reading a
awesome.
lot about Graham and whatnot recently.
Well,
I'm just gonna know how to do cash flows and project them out because for my university. So I was just wondering what the right approach is, but I think Graham's a genius. Bottom line.
Well, yeah, he is very good. Neil is good as well. I mean, he was a good fundamental person. So.
Anyway, I appreciate it, Shorty. Thank you.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank you. I will catch you guys tomorrow, and don't do anything crazy during the regular.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Shorty.
I guess.
Have a nice night.
Thanks. Good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Good night, my peeps.
I know, Cuban, I know you're going to just full port it now, tonight.
I'm already there, buddy. Hell no.
Cuban, do you sleep, man? Do you ever sleep?
Shit, yes I do.